Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and boy do I have a humdinger of a video for you in this very latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. Several things to discuss, including this headline. Look at this. Ripple partners with largest financial institution in Africa and Middle East. I've also got this headline from you today. Fed Reserve adopts ISO 20022 format for payments that Ripple is compliant with. And in this piece, they do go on to state that the United States Fedwire now runs on the same system as Ripple. I would not word it like that, and I'll explain what I mean by that and the implications of all of this. And then there's also this. Here's a headline from Bloomberg. Bitcoin back above $50,000 as Bank of America says too large to ignore, referencing this asset class of Bitcoin. Too large to ignore. Bank of America, by the way, happens to be a Ripple customer. And isn't it always the case that with these larger banks and financial institutions, if you just looked back to what they've been saying about the crypto asset class and Bitcoin over the last, especially several years, they pretty much all said the same thing. Oh my gosh, it's risky, it's volatile, really not anything to do this. Man, maybe limited upside. Ugh. And of course, meanwhile, crypto has been the best performing asset class on the entire freaking planet. And those that have participated, by and large, if they've not made foolish decisions and emotionally bought and sold, lots of people have truly made life-changing wealth, and that opportunity's still here. And so it's just interesting seeing that now Bank of America, they're changing their tune because what are they doing? That's the same thing that happened with JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. They were against it until they were for it. And then they were for it once they determined ways to jump into the space and make money off it. That's it. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes a bunch of humdingers of episodes about crypto-related stuff all up on the YouTubes, but just as a hobby, just for fun. Just want to be clear. I don't want anyone thinking that I'm pretending to be some sort of guru on here. There's plenty of fake, internet gurus in the crypto space, I'll say. Take a look at this tweet from Brad Garlinghouse. I wanted to just briefly mention this as well, because despite the ongoing litigation with the SEC versus Ripple, Ripple's been making tremendous strides in terms of adoption of their RippleNet technology. And take a look at this. They're actually getting recognition for it too, and they've been snubbed a little bit, which is why I'm pleasantly surprised to see stuff like this. But here was a tweet from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Despite a unique set of challenges this year, each quarter has topped the one before. Incredibly proud of Team Ripple for forging ahead and getting it done. Congrats to Team Ripple. And you can see here is the official Ripple Twitter account that wrote, "We're proud to be named on this year's FinTech 250 again, released today by CB Insights. It's an honor to be included alongside these innovative companies." And so CB Insights, I wasn't really familiar with them, but I went to their website, and basically they do a whole bunch of analysis for, here, actually I can just show you something. I had their page pulled up here anyway. Here's how they describe themselves. CB Insights Technology Insights Platform, intelligence analysts and global networks of executives and startups empower people to articulate compelling answers to difficult questions about growth, about the competition, about the technology. And so basically they're looking at who are the movers and shakers, which companies are going to be the big ones tomorrow, and people that are paying attention can take note and invest accordingly. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell. Now into this. And so this is what was released from QNB, a major bank here. This is the official QNB website, and they titled this piece, QNB and Ripple partner to enhance global cross-border payments. QNB, the largest financial institution in the Middle East and Africa, unveiled its global strategy for cross-border payments with the launch of a remittance service developed in partnership with Ripple, the leading provider of enterprise blockchain solutions. According to the agreement, both sides signed, QNB will initially pilot Ripple's global financial network technology, which is RippleNet, with QNB Finans Bank in Turkey as part of a group rollout with plans to expand to other key remittance corridors in the future. So look, they're already talking about the future. They're calling it a pilot. They know where this thing is going here. And so look, this is always the most important part to consider of all of this if you're an XRP holder, in my humble opinion. Where I know we're not talking about the adoption of XRP in this specific instance right now, but every new Ripple customer is a potential user of XRP as a bridge currency. If look, the bottom line is that if XRP offers a better solution at a lower price, it's going to get adopted unless there's regulatory situations that make it impractical or impossible effectively. But the world's going to figure this out. If there's true value to be had here, and the technology is proven to be safe, and it certainly is, well, then governments need to get the hell out of the way and let this technology get adopted. And then as liquidity increases, which is the other major hurdle, like that, I acknowledge it, that is a major hurdle. As liquidity increases, though, and you have a better blend of price and liquidity, you'll be able to have new corridors open up and via so you'll be able to have XRP be utilized as a bridge currency via on-demand liquidity. And so what will it take to have increased liquidity? Well, frankly, you just need a bigger crypto space. Ripple cannot control this. There's almost nothing they can do to manage the liquidity of XRP. And one thing that they're doing to try and address the reality of this situation is that they are offering their what's their program called? For some reason, Coinbase's Lend program, which is not going to launch now, apparently, just jumped in my head. Line of credit, that came to me. Ripple's line of credit, which is both the name of their program and just a thing in business. It's both. Basically, you can, if you're one of their customers, you can take loans of XRP so that if there's insufficient liquidity in a particular corridor or whatever, if you're a market maker, you don't have sufficient liquidity, you can kind of bridges that gap, but that's only going to fix it to some degree. The truth of the matter is you need a greater blend of price and specifically liquidity, which just means more people jumping into crypto because the whole market moves in tandem to this point. But again, it's not lost on me that as this is all getting built out, that I firmly believe that this will ultimately drive demand specifically for XRP. That's one thing, which, by the way, doesn't mean it's a freaking security. It's just one aspect of the very healthy and diverse XRP ecosystem. But yes, it would. And if it ends up being something that's globally adopted, yeah, then I can imagine decades from now you'll look back and be like, wow, XRP used to only be $1. That's crazy. That's what I would imagine to be the case here. So we shall see here. But then they write also, through RippleNet, QNB aims to improve cross-border payments and expand its remittance service across multiple countries in a quick succession. This partnership will deliver near real-time payments to provide a unique and differentiated experience for QNB's customers. And so there you go. That's when we're talking about RippleNet, we're talking about the messaging portion of this, but eventually the settlement portion, which is where the actual movement of money comes, that will be addressed all in due time. But that's a bigger hurdle, so we just got to kind of wait. And then there's this from you today. Fed Reserve adopts ISO 20022 format for payments that Ripple is compliant with. According to a press release that came out on Monday, the U.S. Federal Reserve spread the word that all federal banks are going to implement the ISO 20022 system for Fedwire Fund Service, which is FFS for short. And then they write, curiously, I don't think it's curious, but they write, curiously, Ripple's blockchain-based payments are already compliant with ISO 20022. And then they have this little subheading, FFS, that's Fedwire, FFS now runs on the same system as Ripple. That's not how I would word that. That's how they're reporting it. But it's not even it's a set of standards. It's not that it's a system. And so there's ISO certifications in every industry here. And so basically it has to do with standardization for particular industries. And so what that might mean in the fintech space here is that given that there are different local payment rails, different styles of technology the world over, getting all of that to interoperate can be clunky and difficult, and it slows things down. It's not sufficiently efficient, but by having standards in place that's recognized on a global scale, which is effectively what this is, if you can get people to on board, recognizing the importance of being part of a network like this, because the more people come on board, the more it's going to be expected, then it can make linking up various parts of the world financially much, much easier. So these are just standards. It's not that Fedwire is on some sort of Ripple system or on a system that Ripple's on. It's just a set of standards here. And so I don't think they should have worded it quite the way they did, but that is what they're reporting. is that it's the same system as Ripple. And so, like, it's not the case that in terms of the adoption of this type of technology, it's not the case that progress was going to stop. Certainly, especially with fintechs doing what they're doing. But outside of an effort like this, like, it's very unlikely that you're going to get large swaths of financial institutions the world over on the same page from even a technological perspective, which is what a huge part of this has to do with. And Ripple has already been on board with this ISO certifications for 20022 for over a year, actually. Not surprising they're on the cutting edge of all of this, right? I'm kind of surprised that the Fed is jumping on board now, apparently all at once, rather than in phases. They're going to do it all in one day also. But yeah, this is not particularly surprising here. There aren't any sort of special magical implications for XRP as a result of this. But other than to say, in a world where friction is reduced, this is just one more piece of the puzzle. In terms of settlement, yeah, you still need XRP. It doesn't have any implications. So if anybody's wondering, no, there's nothing there. We're just talking about standards here, not an actual system. And then there's this. Because I had a couple stories pulled up for this one, actually. So there's this one from Bloomberg titled "Bitcoin Back Above $50,000." As B of A says, too large to ignore. Bitcoin rallied to around $50,000 as Bank of America Corp strategists threw their weight behind crypto as a new asset class. The gain brings prices to the highest since early September, when El Salvador rolled out the cryptocurrency as legal tender. Bitcoin rose as much as 2.8% in New York to touch $50,369. The universe of digital assets is, quote, too large to ignore, end quote, wrote strategists with Bank of America. And then they said, and this is a quote also, our view is that there could be more opportunity than skeptics expect. And so kudos to you listening to this, because you were here first, especially if you've been around for a number of years and you didn't fall victim to the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that major legacy financial institutions were spreading about. And I understand why they were doing it, because something that isn't monetarily benefiting them, having any money going in that direction, why would that be good for them? Of course they don't. But then what happened? It's what I said would happen. As soon as they found a way to monetize all of this, now everybody's magically on board. Well, kudos to you for being here, because even though some of the big institutions are jumping on board now, even if you're jumping on at about the same time, you're still like way ahead of almost every other human on the planet, because at this point, as I'm recording this, only about 3% of humans on the planet have ever held any cryptocurrency at any point in time. And we've already got a market cap that, last I checked, I don't know what it is, I didn't check right before recording this, but over $2.2 trillion right now, with almost no humans on the planet having ever jumped in. My friends, this is going to be into the tens of trillions, and probably at some point over 100 trillion. I'd be surprised if that didn't happen. And so then there was also this from Crypto Newsflash on the same topic. Bank of America, the second biggest U.S. bank, has launched a cryptocurrency research unit with the hope of scaling its crypto trading business. How about that? Now they can make money off of it, and yeah, they're all on board. Really burns my biscuits, folks. Anyway, the bank formed the specialized division over this year's summer, intending to feed institutional demand to crypto assets exposure. In July, the bank reportedly started offering crypto exchange-traded products to its select customers. Even more, the institution highlighted positive implications associated with El Salvador's Bitcoin strategy. The premier bank took a 180-degree turn after years of being one of the most vocal Bitcoin bashers. Ain't that the truth? Funny how this all plays out, isn't it? That's why it's just like, I can't, I know that these people are wrong. Everybody that's saying negative things about the long-term viability of the crypto asset class, the Peter Schiffs of the world, it's all going to zero. All I can do is just kind of chuckle and block them out, because I know they're wrong. The world's already decided they're wrong. All right. So even though we don't know for sure which cryptocurrencies are going to have long-term viability in 2021, we don't know for sure. It's very clear that humans find these, in a general sense, to be valuable, and they're rallying around certain ones. And yes, the market moves in tandem by and large, but it won't always be like that. It's going to be very messy along the way, on the way to the top, but I'm here for that. I want the volatility personally. I want the exposure, because this is where the most opportunity on the planet exists to make life-changing money. This is it right here. So, hey, I'm down for it. I'm just thankful that I came across this asset class and invested when I did, which was almost 4 years ago at this point. Next month for me, it's 4 years. Time flies when you're having fun, you know. Yeah. So anyway, all I can say is just don't listen to these people. They are wrong, and they're just reality. It's just like flying right into their face, and then they're not recognizing what reality is. I understand most cryptocurrencies don't do anything, but there is utility. And so the truth of the matter is, if there's one use case for one crypto on the planet, that justifies its existence and it's not going away. There's a lot more than one, but even if there were only one, that does it. And of course it's going to stay here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.